Imagine standing at an airport security line. Bags go through the X-ray, you step aside, and then an agent asks for your phone. They want to unlock it. Your mind races. What's on your phone? Photos, messages, bank apps. The truth is, your phone is a smaller, more explosive version of your life. And if you don't prepare, it can cause big, real consequences. In this video for Journey Genius, I'll show you the 9 things you should delete or secure before you travel, the legal reality about who can actually search your phone, and the safe alternatives that protect your rights and your privacy. Stick with me. The first tip alone has saved travelers from serious trouble. First, a crucial distinction. Many people assume TSA can rummage through the contents of your phone during security screening. That's not quite right. TSA, Transportation Security Administration, is responsible for security screening at checkpoints. They can ask you to power on a device, and the final decision about whether an electronic device can proceed through the checkpoint rests with the TSA officer, for safety reasons. But TSA does not typically have the authority to search the contents of your device the way a law enforcement search works. For international travelers re-entering the US, however, Customs and Border Protection, CBP, does have much broader authority to inspect phones and other electronic devices at ports of entry. Recent legal developments have complicated the picture. Courts and litigants have pushed back on warrantless device searches at some ports of entry, and some judges have limited certain searches. But the general rule is, at borders, officials have broader powers than inside the country. That means your risk is higher when you're crossing international borders. Phones are not just devices, they're time machines. They contain your history, messages, photos, location timelines, search queries, calendar events, emails, notes, and saved passwords. A single careless item on your phone can turn a routine trip into an interrogation, detention, or worse for non-citizen travelers. So the question isn't whether to worry. It's what to do right now to reduce risk. That's where these 9 things come in. Why it matters. Photos and videos capture private moments and, in some cases, sensitive information, IDs, documents, or images that could be misinterpreted. In high-profile cases, photos have been used as evidence or to justify detentions. If border agents or law enforcement view images that appear suspicious, they may detain you for questioning or seize your device for forensic analysis. Data may be copied and retained. Recent reports show governments are increasing device analysis capabilities. Back up all photos to an encrypted cloud or an external drive at home. Then remove sensitive images from your device. Use a secure encrypted folder app if you must carry images, or carry a separate travel phone with only necessary images. If you don't want deletion, export to a local encrypted disk and factory wipe the phone for travel. See Alternatives section. Why it matters. Draft messages, unsent texts, or private chats can be misread out of context. A joke, a poorly worded line, or a discussion about activism or controversial topics can draw unwanted attention at border inspections. Border agents can view messages and metadata. Even private drafts might be subject to review at ports of entry. For journalists, lawyers, and activists, this is especially risky. Export or archive important conversations you need, then delete sensitive drafts or threads from the device. Sign out of messaging apps if you want to be cautious and remove saved credentials. Consider installing ephemeral chat apps only on a travel device, if needed, not your primary phone. Why it matters. Your banking apps, saved passwords, wallets, or payment apps contain direct access to your money and some personal identifiers. If an inspector is able to log in with your device unlocked, that access could be abused or used as corroborating evidence in investigations. Sensitive financial data is a tempting target and may be copied. Also, some automated forensics tools can extract stored credentials, remove banking apps from the travel device, or sign out and wipe saved credentials. Clear saved passwords from browsers and disable autofill. Use a separate travel phone with no financial apps if you prefer not to risk it. Why it matters. Location history shows where you've been and when. That can reveal associations, places visited, or patterns that authorities might find relevant. Location data has been used in investigations and can complicate travel encounters if it suggests suspicious travel or contacts. Some services keep long histories. Clear recent location history in apps. Google Maps timeline, Apple location history. Turn off location services for non-essential apps, especially social apps. Consider a temporary factory reset if you're carrying highly sensitive location evidence, then restore after travel. Why it matters. Notes apps often contain unstructured, highly sensitive data, addresses, legal notes, passwords, or drafts of controversial statements. PDFs and downloaded documents can hold confidential records. These files are searchable and very easy for forensic tools to extract. They're prime sources of incriminating or sensitive material. Export essential documents to encrypted storage, then delete them from the device. Clear the recent files or recently deleted folders in file managers. If you use cloud apps, also sign out and remove offline synced copies. Why it matters. Your search history and browsing patterns are a record of intent. If a particular set of searches looks suspicious to an inspector, you could spend hours explaining yourself. Browsing history is often stored locally for quick access and could be presented as context to agents. Clearing it reduces exposure. Clear your browser history, cookies, and cached data. Use private incognito mode for searches prior to travel if you must look up sensitive topics. Remove saved autofill entries that reveal contact or financial details. Why it matters. Things you think are hidden can still be located by forensic tools. Hidden folders, renamed files, or encrypted containers might actually draw more scrutiny if found. Attempting to conceal data can appear evasive. Forensics often finds hidden containers, and that could prolong detention. Inventory your device for hidden files and remove them if they aren't essential. If you must carry encrypted containers for legitimate reasons, work, journalism, consult a lawyer and consider carrying an official travel letter from your employer. Keep a minimal, clean device for travel. Why it matters. Apps with camera, mic, or storage permissions can collect and expose metadata. Some apps also have access to your contacts, messages, and more. Permissions leak metadata and help build a profile of you. That profile may be used in risk assessment by authorities. Review app permissions and revoke anything non-essential. Uninstall unknown or unnecessary third-party apps. Disable automatic syncing for apps that keep copies of your data. Why it matters. If you're a lawyer, journalist, or hold sensitive client or patient data, your device might contain privileged information. That's not just privacy at stake. It can have professional and legal consequences. The border search rules have historically allowed device inspection without a warrant. Some especially sensitive professions have been targeted. Always treat work data as highly sensitive while traveling. If possible, avoid carrying client data on a device when crossing borders. Export necessary items to encrypted media left at home or on a secure server, then wipe local copies. Carry a clean travel device for work travel and consult your organization's legal counsel about safe travel protocols. Okay, you've seen what to delete, but sometimes deletion isn't enough or it's inconvenient. Here are smarter alternatives that preserve your privacy without sacrificing convenience. A. Create a clean travel device. Buy or repurpose a cheap smartphone for travel that contains only essentials: boarding passes, maps, non-sensitive communication apps. Don't sign into work email, bank apps, or social platforms on that device. B. Full backup and factory reset when appropriate. Backup to encrypted storage at home, then factory reset your phone for the trip. After travel, restore from the backup. This is the safest way to remove residual data. C. Use strong encryption and password managers. Use reputable password managers. Enable device encryption and use complex device passcodes. But remember, at border entry, agents may demand unblocking. The laws vary by country and status. D. Cloud alternatives. Move sensitive files to encrypted cloud storage you control, then delete local copies. But understand that if you unlock the device, cloud apps may still provide access. If you're asked to unlock or hand over your device, stay calm. Your response should be measured and strategic. 1. Ask politely whether this is a legal requirement or voluntary. CBP can request a search at entry. TSA typically does not conduct content searches at checkpoints. 2. If you're inside the US, not at border, and law enforcement requests access, you may have constitutional protections. Ask if they have a warrant. Note, the border exception is complicated. 3. If at border and told you must comply, weigh the consequences. Non-compliance could result in device seizure or delayed entry for non-citizens. Consider contacting a lawyer immediately. 4. Document the encounter. Write down names, badge numbers, and keep any written notices you're given. If your device is seized, ask for a receipt.
If you are a U.S. citizen, you usually cannot be denied entry solely for refusing a search. But refusal may lead to device seizure or further questioning. Consequences are more severe for non-citizens.
Why is this getting worse? 2 reasons: more sophisticated forensics tools and a rise in device searches. Governments and border agencies are buying advanced extraction tools, and CBP has actively looked to modernize its toolkit. That increases the depth of what can be retrieved from a single device. Device searches at borders and ports of entry have risen in recent years, prompting civil liberties groups to push for rules and court challenges. Some litigation has already limited certain searches in specific airports, but the landscape is unsettled. Here's the checklist. Before you fly, especially internationally, do these 6 quick things now. 1. Backup photos and delete sensitive ones. 2. Delete sensitive drafts and messages. 3. Sign out of banking apps, uninstall if possible. 4. Clear location history and turn off GPS for non-essential apps. 5. Remove sensitive documents and wipe recent files. 6. Consider a clean travel phone or a factory reset. If you want the printable checklist, download it from the link in the description. I've made a step-by-step PDF for Journey Genius subscribers. I am not a lawyer. Rules and rights vary by country, and policies evolve. If you're carrying highly sensitive data, speak to legal counsel before travel. The laws about device searches are actively being litigated. Some courts have limited warrantless searches in certain cases, but those rulings are narrow and don't eliminate risk. Always stay updated. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up. The algorithm loves practical travel survival tips. Subscribe to Journey Genius for more travel smart advice. Tell me in the comments, which of these 9 things surprised you the most, and what would you add to the list?